Roma Wines present
Suspense.
Roma Wines, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world.
Salud.
Your health, senor.
Roma Wines toast the world. The wine for your table is Roma Wine, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world.
This is the man in black, here for the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California, to introduce this weekly half hour of Suspense. Tonight from Hollywood, Roma Wines bring you the remarkable actress whose performance in the Paramount picture For Whom the Bell Tolls won her an Academy Award, Katina Paxinu. And so, with The Woman in Red, and with the performance of Madame Paxinu, we again hope to keep you in suspense. In all of London, few houses were so fine, so correct, so austere, and yet gracious with age as number 30 Henrik Square. That was true of its reception room, true of its long, quiet hallway along which the young man led the girl.
Aunt Rita, this is Miss Julia Ross.
The woman rested her knitting in her lap and slowly turned around. She was a giant of a woman of 60 in a bright red dress. For several seconds, she stared fixedly across at Julia. Then, in an instant, a soft, gentle smile came on her face.
Perfect. How perfect.
I beg your pardon?
Here. Come over here, child. Let me look at you. That's it. Over there, child. Sit there on the divan. And Carl, I think I shall have my milk now.
Yes.
And Miss Ross will have some with me. Will you? Won't you, Miss Ross?
Some milk? Oh, but I never...
Some warm milk and a biscuit. Of course you will. I always find it very sustaining. Carl, you heard the young lady. And stop staring at her. You've seen a pretty girl before.
Was I staring? Excuse me, Miss Ross.
Hurry now like a nice boy.
Is he your secretary?
Let us say that he has been substituting until I found someone like you.
You mean you think I will do?
Don't you?
Well, all I know is when I saw your advertisement in the paper, Miss Crable, I couldn't believe my eyes. Wanted secretary, Irish girl, blonde hair, age about 25. It was all so perfect. It sounded just, well, it was like me.
And just like Sheila. That was my former secretary, Miss Ross. Who passed away just recently.
Oh.
She had been with me many years.
I'm so sorry, Miss
I
Crable.
had the feeling that my loss might be lessened if I could really replace her. An old lady's whim, of course, because no one is ever exactly like someone else. You, for example, I'm sure you have friends, acquaintances, relatives, perhaps, you see now and then. Sheila didn't.
But you see, I don't. What I mean is, my parents aren't living, and so far as friends or acquaintances are concerned, I hadn't had much time lately, and... Well, my landlady, of course, I know her, but...
Unbelievable, Miss Ross. Because it's so perfect. You see, the less time you have for outside attractions, the more time you have for me.
The milk, Aunt Rita, and the biscuits. Will this table do here?
That will be fine, dear. And leave us alone.
Oh, very well. My aunt is a very domineering woman, Miss Ross.
But also a generous one, I think. Your milk, dear. And a biscuit?
Oh, just the milk, thank you. Miss Crable, there's something you must know.
Well, don't hesitate, child.
Miss Crable, I'm afraid I'm not quite what you think. I mean, I've never really done any secretarial work before. I've had some business training, a little, but not actual experience. I mean it, Miss Crable. I lied in what I wrote you. I wanted the position and I needed it so much.
You silly girl.
You mean you still want me?
Certainly. Now finish your milk before it gets cold.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, there will be very little secretarial work for you to do. I shall want a sort of, a companion. Now, I shall want you to start immediately. You will, of course, live here in the house and...
Live in the house?
But of course, you are my companion.
Oh, but I didn't understand that Yes. Well, then, I think perhaps I should make plans accordingly. I mean, I'd better leave now. I shall want to go to my boarding house and cancel my lodging.
Oh, there will be plenty of time for that, child. Carl and I generally take an afternoon stroll and would like you to...
But you see, there'll be other arrangements. People I must see and
People?
things to...
But you said you knew no people.
Oh, yes. Well, Miss Crabo, I have no qualifications for this position. Oh.
Why, child? What's the matter?
I don't know. Suddenly, I feel so drowsy.
Well, then, I would just lie back on the divan.
But there's no reason for it.
Oh, but there is, child. You are weary from the strain, the uncertainty, the ceaseless search for work in a strange and friendless city.
The milk.
Oh.
There was something in it.
So you relax. Your nerves, they go to sleep.
Yes. Sleep.
Carl. Oh, Carl.
Yes, Aunt Rita?
Have you finished the note,
Oh,
dear?
yes, only this moment.
Well, don't just stand there. Let me see it.
Aunt Rita, please. She's so harmless.
And so perfect. And now read me the note.
To Department KL, Sudden Development. Leaving at once for Dublin, Ireland. Will communicate in 10 days.
10 days, Carl? We won't need so much time. Make that 5.
Just as you say, Aunt Rita.
Then sign it Sheila Campbell and post it to British Intelligence.
Tonight for Suspense, Roma Wines bring you as star Madame Katina Paxinu, whom you have heard in the prologue to The Woman in Red by Anthony Gilbert. Tonight's adventure in Suspense.
You remember the old saying, the grass is always greener in the other fellow's yard? Well, you might agree with the truth of that statement if you happen to overhear a conversation like this. Let's imagine we're seated in the smart and festive Club Montmartre in Havana, Cuba. An American has just complimented his Cuban friend on the fine quality of Havana tobacco. Graciously, the Cuban replies, "But you of the United States need have no envy of us. Nature has made a great gift of perfection to your country, too. The magnificent wine which we are all so fond of. It is Roma wine, made in your own California." Friends, that little scene is typical of many countries where wine is truly enjoyed. For in other lands, Roma wines must be imported over long distances from our own California, a luxury to be enjoyed on special occasions, while lucky you can enjoy these superb Roma wines as a daily delight, with no import duty, no expensive shipping charges added to your cost for Roma wines. Whichever one of Roma wine's many different types your own taste test names as favorite, you'll agree here is truly superb wine that could come only from truly choice wine districts. And you'll say, no wonder Roma wines are America's largest selling wines. I'll spell out the name for you. R-O-M-A, Roma wines, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world.
And now it is with pleasure that we bring back to our sound stage our star, Katina Paxinu, in The Woman in Red, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Feeling better, Julia, after your little nap?
No, I don't feel better.
Well, the walk and a little something to eat will do wonders for you. There is a little tea shop up here.
I don't want anything to eat. And please don't hold on to my arm like
Oh,
that.
now, child, is that a way to talk? You seemed a bit shaky, that's all. Here we are. Carl, you wait with Julia.
Oh.
I'll just look in first to see that it's not too crowded.
And now you have to hold my arm.
Oh, no, wait, Miss Ross. I don't have to hold... Hey, no, don't!
Let me go.
What are you doing, Miss Ross? Why do you run like that?
Please, don't you understand? If I'm to move in with Miss Crabo, I've got to get in touch with my landlady.
But there'll be plenty of time.
Plenty of time. What do you want with me? Why are you both...
Oh, Carl.
Yes, Aunt Rita?
Come along, you two.
No.
Please, you're making yourself worried about nothing. My aunt, it's just that she's a peculiar woman.
Hurry, children.
Then remember that I am here.
I have already ordered for us.
Oh, fine, Aunt Rita. Our table, this is it?
Yes, sir. You're in the corner. Miss Crago.
Thank you, Mr. James. And Sheila will sit here to my left.
Of course. Miss Sheila. Miss Sheila?
What?
This is your place here, Miss Sheila.
Sheila? Why are you calling me Sheila? What is it? Why are they laughing?
Pay no attention, dear. Just sit down, please.
This woman called me Sheila. You both did. My name is...
I know, dear. It is Julia. Everything is all right.
Shall I serve the tea now?
If you will, please. Now, Sheila, sit down, dear, like a nice girl.
No.
What, dear?
I'm going to the restaurant.
Sheila!
It's all right, Miss Crago. Don't bother. There's no other exit from that room.
Oh, I'm so sorry to impose on you, Mr. James. I had no idea she could be so difficult.
Oh, don't give it a thought. Once you explained the situation, we were only too glad to help. Of course, I'd never seen your secretary. I had no idea that...
It's only a recent development.
Oh, yes. Shall I pour the young lady's tea now?
No, thank you. I can manage.
Yes. You know, I was just saying to Mrs. Blandon the other day, I says, I wonder if Miss Crago and her nephew are still in the neighbourhood, I says. Why, they haven't been in my shop for ages, I says. And she says, no, they...
Yes. You see, Mrs. James, we don't dare leave her for long. For her own protection, that is.
Her protection?
Yes, we are a little worried about suicide.
Oh, yes.
Aunt Rita, Sheila's coming.
Well, just call me in case I can help.
Thank you. Oh, here you are, dear. Carl, help Sheila into her chair.
Oh, yes. Sheila?
Thank you, Carl.
Relax now, dear, and drink your tea. It's all ready for you.
My tea in this cup? No, I won't drink it.
You won't drink it? Sheila, what? You're pouring it into your saucer. Dear, everybody's staring at you, laughing at you.
There's nothing for them to laugh at. I simply prefer to pour my own cup of tea. And that's exactly what I shall do.
But dear, you don't think I... Do you really believe that I put something in that first cup of tea?
Yes. Yes, I do. You did it before, and there's no reason to think you wouldn't do it again.
Sheila! Very well, then. Drink your tea. Only hurry. I don't think I can endure much more.
Never mind. I shall hurry. I'm just as eager to leave as you. And I'm going straight to the police.
Oh, now, you're not starting that again.
Are you insane? Do you think I'm helpless, that I can't get away from you? That I shall simply stand here and... Oh, it's happening.
What, dear? What's happening?
You had it in the teapot.
Oh, you're tired again, aren't you, child?
Is there something I can do, Miss Crago?
These attacks, Mrs. James, they leave her quite exhausted.
Oh.
If you'd be good enough to open the door.
Of course, Miss Crago, of course.
No. No.
She must be taken straight to her room, Carl. Please, if you just give her a hand. That's it. That's fine. You're really such a help to me, Carl. Here we are, Sheila. Right here. Now, just go to bed, dear.
Let me alone.
Come along, then, Carl. Sheila is quite tired.
Yes, Aunt Rita, I shall.
You said you'd always be here. You've got to help me.
What can I do?
Here. I've had it in my pocket.
A note.
Are you coming, dear?
Right away, Aunt Rita.
It's to my landlady. I wrote it in the restroom at the tea shop. Here, mail it to her. It's my only chance.
But I can't keep this.
Oh, Carl!
She's coming. Yes, Aunt Rita.
You can do it. You've got to do it.
Good night, Sheila.
How very slow you are, Carl.
Was I so very long?
You like her, I can see that. A letter, I imagine. She gave you a letter to post?
A letter? Oh, no, I was just locking the door.
Ah, yes, of course. Perhaps I have letters on my mind, dear. After that episode with Sheila. The first Sheila Campbell, that is. Dear, hand me my knitting.
Oui.
That's a nice boy. Do you know, I'm continually amazed at the stupidity of these English. Can you imagine that girl, that supposedly trained agent, dropping that note? And addressed, mind you, to the British intelligence. It was very alert of you, Carl, finding it.
Thank you. Now, if you excuse me, I'm rather tired.
Yes, this espionage, it's not a restful service. Sometimes I wonder if Berlin really appreciates the risk we have taken. Yes, the girl had to be disposed of. There was no doubt of it. That was her report on us. All the facts...
Aunt Rita, we've gone over this 1,000 times. Really, I'm tired.
Yes. You were right in realizing what had to be done. It was just that you acted too...
Please, Aunt Rita, explain
too
all
hastily,
that.
too thoughtfully, too violently.
I couldn't help it, I tell you. She rushed into the telephone room out there. I ran after her, and that stupid catch lock pinned us in. She went to pieces, pounding on the door, screaming, tearing at me. I didn't know what I was doing. There was that bookend, the big one. I lost my head, that's all. It's all your fault. Why didn't you lock the door? Where were you?
I simply want you to remember that every incident counts. Because of you, we cannot produce Sheila Campbell's remains. And we certainly can't allow the police to tear up the cellar to find them. Because of you, we shall have to produce a substitute body. A substitute Sheila Campbell, who will satisfy the authorities completely. We have her, and I don't intend to lose her. The note, please.
The note?
The one that girl just gave you to mail.
I don't know what you're talking about. All I know is you don't have to use this girl. You could get somebody else, somebody just as good. She's not right for it.
Not right for it. A girl who denies her identity, who shrieks of drug drinks, persecution. She is ideal. The police will accept her as a suicide without giving it a second thought.
Yes, if they knew she was really insane, but she isn't. Don't you see? She isn't.
She isn't. Just ask those people at this tea shop and that foolish Mrs. James. She will tell you. She will tell the whole neighborhood.
Oh, Mrs. James, a few neighborhood gossips, they aren't enough. You have to have someone professional and authority.
Listen to me. Our note to British intelligence will divert them for just 5 days. Within that time, Julia Ross must commit suicide. And we will see that she does.
No, I won't. I won't go through with it, I tell you.
I see. What a pity it would be if the police learned who was the last person seen with the first Sheila Campbell.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't turn me over.
This espionage, Carl, it's a very demanding trade. The note, please. Thank you. Thank you, dear. I knew it was an oversight.
Yes, sir?
Could you tell me if a Miss Crable lives here?
Why, yes, this is her home, but she's rather busy upstairs, however.
Carl!
Yes, Aunt Rita?
Was that someone at the door? I thought... Oh.
How do you do, Miss Crable? My name is Turner, Dr. Turner.
Dr. Turner?
Yes, I happened to drop into the tea shop yesterday, Mrs. James' shop, you know, and she told me about your situation.
Yes?
Well, I thought I might be of some service. My field, you see, is psychiatry.
Yes. Yes, I see. Oh, how very thoughtful, Doctor. Please, won't you come right up?
Thank you.
Miss Campbell's room is up in this floor, Doctor. I thought you might as well see her at once. I know how busy you must be.
Yes. Well, the case has been quite difficult, Miss Crable.
In many ways, yes, Dr. Turner. Naturally, I feel that someday, with professional guidance and with those things, I can give her patience, understanding.
Mm-hmm.
I can bring her out of the darkness. Until then, here we are. Sheila. Sheila, dear. That is Dr. Turner. Step right in, Doctor. He's coming to visit you, dear.
How are you, Sheila? How do you feel?
Doctor, I rather think my presence will interfere. Mr. James has undoubtedly explained. If you don't mind.
Yes. That might be best. Won't you talk to me? It's all right, Sheila. Believe me, I'm a doctor.
You're no doctor.
No, Sheila.
Don't call me Sheila. You're here to help her. Help her keep me prisoner here in this house.
Stop
Help her
it.
drive me out of my mind. Help her. Yes, help her to murder me.
Sheila, pull yourself together.
She's told you
can't afford
everything.
to act like this.
Told you how to act.
You must act.
Why don't you leave me alone? Why don't you go
I
away?
don't.
Oh, excuse me, Dr. Turner, but I became a little bit uneasy.
Yes, I can understand.
Well, Doctor?
Yes, it's persecution mania, clearly enough. She has all the symptoms. The deep melancholia, the stubborn, hysterical insistence that she's about to be done away with.
Yes?
I happen to be attached to the King James General Asylum, and I'm somewhat familiar with this type of case. There is one important thing, Miss Crabo. Over here, please.
Yes, Doctor?
The matter of Miss Campbell's protection.
Her protection?
Yes, from herself. You undoubtedly are not aware of it, but her type is often inclined toward suicide.
How dreadful.
In case those tendencies should become apparent, naturally you'd let me know.
Naturally, Doctor.
She would then require professional care. Meanwhile, I'm sure your own treatment will be as effective as any. Patience and understanding.
Torture me like this, will they? Murder me here in this house.
Sheila!
No, I won't let them. I'll kill myself first.
Miss Campbell.
I'll kill myself. That's what I'll do.
The window! Stop her! Carl! Carl!
Yes, the window.
Yes, you must
That's
do
it, the window. I'll jump through the window.
Young woman, control yourself.
Let me go.
You
Don't
must
let me
control
down.
yourself.
You're not-
Tomato, what's going on here?
Trevor.
What happened?
Well, this girl, she just tried to kill herself. I'm afraid this changes things, Miss Crabo. She must be put away.
Put away?
Yes, as soon as possible. I'll have the men come at once.
You mean take her away from me? But you can't. I've looked after her myself. Why can't I go on doing that?
Because it's beyond you now, Miss Crabo.
No.
No, I'm sorry, but there's nothing else I can do. Would you be good enough to direct me to your telephone?
Telephone?
Yes, I wish to order a car. Some men from the asylum.
Of course. There is a small telephone room right on down the hall. This way, please.
I know how you must feel, Miss Crabo. But you see, it's the sort
The
of thing-
telephone, Dr. Turner, is in this room, right here. Just sit down there at the desk.
Well, thank you. You're sure the young man can handle the girl? I mean,
I will go back myself and take charge.
well, that will be safer, I'm sure. Excuse me. Hello? Turner speaking. Yes, Dr. Turner. I'd like you to send a car right away. And 3 men. The address? It's number 30... just a moment. Miss Crabo. Miss Crabo!
Yes, Dr. Turner.
I can't open the door. It's locked.
Oh, sorry, Doctor. I'll have to get the keys from Carl.
Keys to unlock this door?
It's very special lock, Dr. Turner.
You don't need any keys. Just open the door from your side. Miss Crabo! Miss Crabo! Where are you? Miss Crabo!
Antarita, she won't stop crying. I just can't get her to stop.
I will get her to stop. A clever one, aren't you, child? Pretending to commit suicide so the doctor would take you away.
The doctor. Where is he?
A splendid idea you had, leaping out that window. We'll see if we can help you this time.
No. Don't come near me.
Carl, we've only a very few seconds. Get her across the
No.
window.
Don't make me do it, Antarita. Please, you don't.
You wretched, sniveling coward. Do you want us both to hang? Help me get this girl to that window.
You'll be sorry you made me, Antarita. You will. I couldn't help it, Dr. Turner. I couldn't help it. I just lost my head, that's all. But she made me do it. Don't you see? Don't you understand how it was? She made me do it. She drove me, Dr. Turner.
All right, now settle down. And do stop calling me Dr. Turner.
Stop calling you doctor. You?
Well, no, I'm not a psychiatrist. But I'm going to see that you meet one.
Huh?
I happen to be from British intelligence, Carl. I suppose I have you to thank for that letter.
What letter?
Yes, the one supposedly signed by Sheila Campbell, telling us she was off to Dublin, Ireland.
Oh, yes.
Would communicate with us in 5 days.
Well, Aunt Rita, she made me do that, too.
That was an inexcusable mistake, Carl. You see, Sheila would never have written Dublin, Ireland. No, an Irishman assumes that everybody knows where Dublin is. How about that, Miss Ross? Am I right?
Well, I know where it is, all right. And I'm going back there as fast as I can.
Oh, now, Julia, London isn't as bad as all that, you know.
Maybe not. I suppose it all depends upon the murderers you meet.
Why, child, you wouldn't want to meet a nicer lad than Carl here. After all, it isn't everybody who'd pitch his aunt through a bedroom window just to save your life. Yes, he's really a very nice boy. Sergeant, you better take him down to the cellar now and have him show you where he buried Sheila Campbell.
Aunt Rita, she made me do it.
No, she made you do that, too. A woman of character, Miss Crable. I'm sure you'll miss her very much. But that's the way it goes. This espionage, Carl, is a very uncertain trade.
And so closes The Woman in Red, starring Katina Paxinu. Tonight's tale of suspense.
Spotted about the globe, wherever wine grapes grow, there are a few wineries whose products are made for world enjoyment. Among such wineries, right here in California, are those of Roma. And we who live in America have the pleasure of enjoying Roma wine at exceptionally low cost. For we buy it free of duty and free of excessive shipping costs. For instance, Roma California Sherry is the queen of appetizer wines. And not only that, but a wine so delicious it is suitable to serve at any time, cool or chilled. But no matter what your preference may be, you will find a Roma wine costing far less than you would expect to pay for such distinguished wine. In Roma, you have the old-world art of winemaking, plus the extra care, constant tasting and testing, which modern knowledge adds to that ageless art. That's why Roma wines have a universal appeal, why they are America's largest selling wines. I'll spell out the name for you. R-O-M-A, Roma Wines, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world.
This is Katina Paxinu. I hope you enjoyed our suspense play this evening and that you don't hate me too much. I'm not really as bad as that. Next week, I know you will want to listen when Mr. Orson Welles will be your star.
Suspense is produced and directed by William Spear. Don't forget, then, next Thursday for Orson Welles in Suspense.
Presented by Roma Wines, R-O-M-A, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.